Hey, how's it going? It's Peter. Today I'm doing some subtractive creativity, which is a hack for creating longer, more interesting ideas in music that are not quite so repetitive when you do it. A lot of people struggle with melody writing. It's easy to come up with a very short idea, a few notes, but then to sit there and think of another set of few notes that makes sense following it in order to continue. And then after that, only to find yourself needing to think of even more material and more material. To write a whole song like that is almost ridiculous, and it probably wouldn't even sound that good. So there has to be a way to use material you've already generated, and the hack is to take stuff away from it when you do. I'm doing a demo today in a DAW on a Mac. It's a Macintosh running Ventura 13.4, and this is Ableton Live Suite 11. But obviously, this is the kind of thing you could do with or without a DAW in any DAW. You could do this if you like to write music at a piano with a piece of paper, or even just in your imagination. This applies. I'm assuming you've written a little melody before and you want to work towards having more interesting, longer, more developed ideas. So let's begin. Here's my idea. I have this short little 4-bar melody with some chords and a beat. All right. If I wanted to extend this idea, I might find myself repeating myself a lot if I just copy and paste it. It's not that interesting in itself. And repetition becomes immediately recognizable. It sounds like you're repeating on purpose for some reason. And if there isn't really any reason there, it just sounds like you have nothing else to give the song. Here's some direct, straight, one-for-one repetition. All right, well, you get the idea. I won't have it keep playing and playing and playing. Let's do a different approach. Let's do some subtractive creativity. Let's take something away when we repeat. So, at the repeat, we could just delete something. Even just deleting the last note has some kind of an effect. It sort of calls for an answer now. Ba 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 ba. It's because there's something missing. It calls for an answer, and that does lead us to the next thing. So we've taken something that was 4 bars long, and it is now in its entirety. It's actually 8 bars long without entirely, literally repeating itself. There's some reused material, but by deleting a note, it becomes one singular linear statement. So we just made 8 bars without coming up with brand new material. We just subtracted. By the way, we could do this as much as we want. 8 bars repeated sounds repetitious, but 8 bars almost repeated sounds like development. So if I expand this by copying it up to a 16-bar idea and then delete something, like I could delete the last few notes and just hold out what is the new last note, and we get, and while I'm at it, maybe I could introduce a few changes of pitch here without getting too carried away. I could Okay. I changed a couple notes. I changed 3 notes to give it some kind of variety and exploring a different part of the range of the melody instrument. Let's listen to this full, now 16-bar melody. I didn't need any new material to turn this 4-bar thing into a 16-bar thing, really. What else could I do using subtractive creativity? This drum beat's very repetitive. What if I just remove it for the first 16 bars and have it come in after? That's a developmental idea. That's an arranging idea, where we don't introduce everything at the beginning. We save something for later. Here is the same 16-bar tune now, and the drums don't come until after the first statement of the melody. All right, I think you get the idea from all that. So in conclusion, duplicate your most basic idea and remove something from it to increase the length of that idea. Bring in ideas later rather than at the beginning of the song. Allow it room to grow. Give it some place to go. Repeating's okay, as long as we subtract a little something. Put your questions in the comments, and maybe I'll make a video to respond.